Hello, I am Kathleen Alanong. Now, let's tackle about global governance, international law, and organizations. Now, let's talk about human rights under international law. Human rights under international law is one of the great achievements of the United Nations is the creation of a comprehensive body of human rights law, a universal and internationally protected code to which all nations can subscribe and all people aspire. The United Nations has defined a broad range of internationally accepted rights, including civil, cultural, economic, political, and social rights. It has also established mechanisms to promote and protect these rights and to assist states in carrying out their responsibilities. Next is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a milestone document in the history of human rights. It is drafted by representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. The declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on December 10, 1948, as a common standard of achievements for all people and all nations.
And now, let's proceed to the Articles of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR. Article 1, Right to Equality. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. You have the right to be treated equally by the law and to have the same protection under the law as anyone else. Article 2. Freedom from discrimination. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration, without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. Article 3. Right to life, liberty, personal security. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. It noted that the obligation to protect, respect, and ensure the right to life covers many other issues, including modern technologies such as the use of drones and armed conflict. Article 4. Freedom from slavery. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. The right to freedom from slavery prohibits people being held in conditions in which the powers attaching to the right of ownership are exercised. Article 5. Freedom from torture and degrading treatment. No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. This means it must never be limited or restricted in any way. Article 6. Right to recognition as the person before the law. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law, regardless of whether they are citizens or immigrants, students or tourists, workers or refugees, or any other group.
Good day, everyone. My name is Jessanina Yumaglente, and I am going to report the Article 7 until 12. Article 7, the right to equality before the law. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. You have the right to be treated fairly under the law. The law cannot discriminate against you because of your race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, or other characteristic. You have the right to protection against violations of your human rights. Next is Article 8, the right to remedy by competent tribunal. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts of violating the fundamental rights granted by the Constitution or by the law. You have the right to seek justice and remedy if your rights are not respected. Next is the Article 9, freedom from arbitral arrest and exile. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Any form of imprisonment and all measures affecting the human rights of a person under any form of detention or imprisonment shall be ordered by or be subject to effective control of a judicial or other authority. Let's proceed to Article 10, the right to fair public hearing. So everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations of any criminal charge against him. So, if you are accused of a crime, you have the right to a fair and public trial. The judges must be unbiased and must not be influenced by others. Next is the Article 11, the right to be considered innocent until proven guilty. So everyone charged with a penal offense has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. No one shall be held guilty for any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed, nor shall a heavier penalty to be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offense was committed. So, if you are accused of a crime, you have the right to be considered innocent until you are proven guilty. You have the right to defend yourself or have a lawyer defend you. No one shall be punished for something that was not illegal when they did it. The last one is the Article 12. So, Article 12 is freedom from interference with privacy, family, home, and correspondence. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. So, if you have the right to privacy, no one can enter your house, open your letters, or bother you or your family without a good reason. No one is allowed to harm your good name.
Good day, ma'am. I am Jasmine Rain Zamora, and now let's proceed to Article number 13. So, Article number 13 is the right to free movement in and out of the country. So, within each state borders, everyone has the right to live and travel as they like. Everyone is free to travel outside of their own country and return to it anytime. Article number 14. So, Article number 14 is the right to asylum in other countries from persecutions. Everyone is entitled to apply for and receive protections from persecution in other nations. So persecution that truly result from non-political offenses or from action that goes against the goals and ideals for the UN are not eligible to use this right. Article number 15. So, Article number 15 is the right to a nationality and the freedom to change it. So, the right to a nationality belongs to all people. So, no one has the right to be arbitrarily refused the ability to change or regain their nationality. Article 16 is the right to marriage and family. So the right to marry and start a family belongs to both men and women of legal age. Without distinctions on the basis of race, nationality, or religion, they are entitled to the same rights before, during, and after marriage. Only with the willing partners' free and informed consent may a marriage be consummated. The family has the right to protection from both the state and society since it is the basic and natural unit of society organization. Article number 17 is the right to own property. So everyone is entitled to own property both individually and jointly. No one's property may be taken from them without cause. Now to our last article is number 18, freedom of belief and religion. Everyone has the right to freedom of mind, conscience, and religions. This includes the ability to alter one's religion or belief and the ability to express one's religion or belief in teaching, practice, worships, and observance, whether one is doing so alone with others or in public or private.
Good day, everyone. I am Gwen Maranya, and today I am going to discuss to you the Article 19 to Article 24, which is Article 19 is the freedom of opinion and information. So everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. So this article means you have the right to express yourself online and to access information and the opinions and expressions of others. Article 19 include political speech, views on religion, opinions, and expressions that are favorably received or regarded or inoffensive, but also those that may offend, shock, or disturb others. In Article 20, this is the right of peaceful assembly and association. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. No one may be compelled to belong to an association. So, Article 20 also gives us the right to form or join a group to protect us from being compelled to join an association. Associations include trade unions, clubs, religions, associations, political parties, and increasingly today, online group, considered a crime, and impunity should never be accepted. Article 21 is the right to participate in government and in free elections. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. Second, everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country. And last, the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections which shall be by universal and equal suffrage and shall be held by secret vote or by equivalent free voting procedures. So, Article 21 is the freedom to vote and stand for elections and the freedom of association and assembly as the major political expressions of such participation. Article 21, these rights form the basis for any representative, democratic process and active civil social and ensure that public affairs are truly public. Article 22 is the right to social security. Everyone, as a member of society, has the right to social security and is entitled to realization through national effort and international cooperation and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state. Of the economic, social, and cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the free development of his personality. So, this article is the right to social security encompasses the right to access and maintain benefits without discrimination in order to secure protection from lack of work-related income caused by sickness, disability, maternity, employment, injury, unemployment, old age, or death of a family member, and an affordable health care. Article 23 is the right to desirable work and to join trade unions. Everyone has the right to work to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Second, everyone, without any discrimination, has the right to equal pay for equal work. Third, everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity, and supplemented if necessary by other means of social protection. So, this article is everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplemented if necessary by other means of social protection. Everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his interests. Last but not the least is Article 24. Is the right to rest and leisure. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. So Article 24, even in 19th century, there was recognition that working excessive hours pose a danger to workers' health and to their family. So that would be all. Thank you.
So this is John Marie Tinido and this is the continuation. So what we have here is Article 25, Right to Adequate Living Standard. Paragraph number 1, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. So, the meaning of paragraph 1 is, each one of us has the right to have enough standard of living for the health and for our family. For example, during the time of pandemic, we were suffering, because of COVID, a lot of people became unemployed. when typhoons hit, no, Bagyong Yolanda, Bagyong Pablo, a lot of houses were destroyed. So that's why we have SSS or GSIS loan to have enough funds to recover and start again. So that excludes those aids provided by the government. Paragraph number 2. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. Paragraph number 2. All children, whether legitimate or illegitimate, shall have the same social protection. So that's the meaning of whether born in or out of the wedlock. So social protection are those programs to ensure health care and to cope up with crisis. So all children, whether legitimate or illegitimate, must be equal to this. Article 26, Right to Education. Everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. So Article 26 means that all individuals should be educated at least in elementary level. Now, in terms of technical or professional education like TESDA or higher education, it should be available and accessible. No? That's why we have universal tertiary education that are for free. We have state universities or local colleges like NORSU, BISU, no? But you have to study really, really well, really hard for you to have it for free, no? Because it is on the basis of merits. Paragraph number 2. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. So that means that if we're educated, then we will use it for good things, no, not for useless things and against the principles of the United Nations, no, for world peace. Paragraph number 3. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Paragraph number 3 means that, so if the parents can afford to enroll their child in a private school, then they have the right for it. They have the right to choose. Yes, because they have the power. They have the money. Article 27, Right to participate in the cultural life of community. Paragraph number 1, everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. So this article relates to creative responses with constantly changing environment. So everyone should have the right to engage in critical thinking and contribute ideas. So you have the right to experience and share the benefits of your community's culture, arts, and sciences. Paragraph number 2. Everyone has the right to the protection of the moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is the author. Paragraph number 2, so for example, you write a literary piece like a book or a novel, so you are protected. What you wrote is protected by the law so that no one without your permission can copy it. So you also have the right to get credit for and profit from something you have created. Article 28, Right to a social order that articulates this document. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. So, Article 28 means that you have the right to live in a kind of society, in a kind of world, in a kind of environment where your rights are respected. So, if you want to live in London, or you want to live in Canada, or Japan, or Korea, because you're comfortable there, you feel respected there, then go, because you have the right. But You have also to you have to know their traditions, their cultures. Article 29, Community Duties Essential to Free and Full Development. Paragraph 1. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. So Article 29, Paragraph 1 means that you have a duty to your community and the people around you. Because when you participate in community activities, your personality is also developed. So as for me, I am a member of Red Cross under Norsu Council. So before, I was too shy to speak in front of everybody. I was too shy to know other people. But when I took the risk, it gave me benefits. I gained knowledge and confidence. No? So we have this principle in Red Cross and Red Crescent movement that we work around the clock but never for personal gain. So if you have the heart for volunteering, you understand this. If you do the things wholeheartedly, then you're not expecting anything in return. Paragraph 2. In the exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in a democratic society. So paragraph 2 means that when people look out for each other, everyone can become the type of person they want to be. So there have to be laws in place in order to make sure everyone's rights are respected. Paragraph 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. So paragraph 3 means that you should not use these rights to cause harm or go against the principles of the United Nations. Article 30. Freedom from state or personal interference in the above rights. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein. So lastly, Article 30 means that nothing in the UDHR or Universal Declaration of Human Rights implies that any state, group, or person can weaken or can take away your human rights.
So, hello everyone, and now let's proceed to our next topic, which is the Bill of Rights and the three documents that International Bill of Rights was comprised of. So, the first one is the Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights, sometimes called the Declaration of Rights or a Charter of Rights. And according to Wikipedia, it is a list of the most important rights to the citizens of a country. And the purpose of this is to protect the rights of a country's citizens to have justice and fairness. Bill of Rights may be entrenched or unentrenched. An entrenched Bill of Rights cannot be amended or repealed by country's legislature through regular procedure, instead requiring a supermajority of referendum or public votes. Often, it is a part of a country's constitution and therefore subject to special procedures applicable to constitutional amendments. The International Bill of Human Rights is comprised of three documents: the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, 1966, and International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, 1966. While the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is not legally binding, the two covenants are. Accordingly, they serve foundational documents in international human rights law. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Following the atrocities of World War II, the international community vowed to prevent such grave human rights abuses from occurring in the future. To do this, it created the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which contains 30 articles related to important civil, economic, social, cultural, and political rights. Because of the cruel tragedies that happened during the World War II, the international community promised to prevent such grave human rights abuses to occur in the future. And in order to prevent those things, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was created. It contains 30 articles that was all about economic, social, cultural, and political rights. This represents the universal recognition that basic rights and fundamental freedoms are inherent to all human beings, inalienable, and equally applicable to everyone, and that every one of us is born free and equal in dignity and rights. So, our next topic is the International Covenant of Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights 1966. The UN General Assembly adopted the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights in 1966. The covenant recognizes equal rights between men and women, the right to work, and the right to health, and among others. Most of the rights contained in ICE-SCR was related to vow or violence against women, given that vow is a cause and consequence of women's enjoyment of their human rights on a basis equal to men. In some of the International Covenant of Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, articles most relevant to tackle vow includes Article 2, right to non-discrimination, and the right to an effective remedy. Article 3, equal rights to men and women to the enjoyment of economic, social, and cultural rights in the ICE-SCR. Article 6, rights to work, and other 7 articles. So our last topic is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights 1966. The UN General Assembly adopted the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights in 1966. The covenant protects many important rights which limits the encroachment or invading of government, including the right to life, freedom of speech, and the right to due process. The ICCPR, or International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, recognizes the inherent dignity of each individual and undertakes to promote conditions within states to allow the enjoyment of civil and political rights. Countries that have ratified or approved the covenant are obligated to protect and preserve human rights, such as the right to life, freedom of speech, religion, electoral rights, assembly, privacy, gender equality, right to due process, and among others. And it is compelled to take administrative, judicial, and legislative measures in order to protect the rights enshrined in the treaty and to provide an effective remedy. So that's all for the Bill of Rights and the 3 documents that International Bill of Human Rights are comprised of. Thank you so much for listening.
Good day everyone, I am Christine Corretal and today I am going to tackle the meaning and the purpose of IGO or Intergovernmental Organization. The term intergovernmental organization refers to an entity created by treaty involving 2 or more nations to work in good faith on issues of common interest. In the absence of a treaty, an IGO does not exist in the legal sense. For example, the G8 is a group of 8 nations that have annual economic and political summits. IGOs that are formed by treaties are more advantageous than a mere grouping of nations because they are subject to international law and have the ability to enter into enforceable agreements among themselves or with states. An IGO has international legal status that may include privileges, immunities, rights, and duties that are in turn based upon its founding charter or statute. As such, an IGO can enter into agreements with other IGOs or with states. An IGO usually has a legislative body which creates legal actions, which may bind the IGO and its member states under international law. Most of these legislative acts do not supersede national law except in the EU. An IGO may have a dispute resolution mechanism or body which is empowered to resolve disputes among its member states. The IGO may have an executive body such as Secretariat, which facilitates the operations of the IGO.
The best known IGO is probably the UN, but there are thousands. Many IGOs issue publications and documents that may be of interest to the legal researcher. Founding documents such treaties, charters, statutes, treaties where the IGO is a party, legal acts, proceedings, documents issued by the IGO's legislative body, and decisions of the IGO's adjudicative body. And now we're moved to the main purposes of IGO. The main purposes of IGOs were to create a mechanism for the world inhabitants to work more successfully together in the areas of peace and security, and also to deal with economic and social questions. The IGOs was to make a component for the world to work all the more effectively together in the territories of harmony and security, furthermore to manage monetary and social inquiries.
The United Nations was established in 1945 in the aftermath of World War II. The primary goal was to create an international organization that could promote collective security, prevent future conflicts, and facilitate cooperation among nations. The horrors of the war highlighted the need for a more effective global system to address disputes and maintain peace. The United Nations Charter, signed on June 26, 1945, and came into force on October 24, 1945, officially marking the organization's establishment. The founders envisioned the UN as a platform for dialogue, collaboration, and diplomacy to prevent the recurrence of devastating global conflicts. The African Union, or AU, is considered an international organization because it is a continental union comprising member states from the African continent. It was established with the objective of promoting unity, cooperation, and development among African nations. The AU works to address common challenges faced by African countries, such as conflict resolution, economic development, and social progress. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. It is international in nature because it involves the collaboration of sovereign nations, primarily from North America and Europe. Working together to address shared security concerns, the organization provides a forum for member states to consult and cooperate on defense and security matters, promoting stability and cooperation in the North Atlantic region. The international character of NATO is evident in its commitment to collective defense and the coordination of military efforts among its member countries. The International Criminal Police Organization, commonly known as an Interpol. Interpol operates as a network that connects law enforcement agencies from different countries, allowing them to share information, coordinate efforts, and work together to combat various forms of international crime, such as terrorism, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and cybercrime. The organization provides a platform for member countries to collaborate on law enforcement matters, and its effectiveness relies on the cooperation and involvement of police forces from around the world. In summary, Interpol is international in nature because serves as a global hub for police agencies to work collectively in addressing cross-border criminal activities and maintaining international security.
So now let's proceed to the ASEAN, or Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So ASEAN is a regional intergovernmental organization comprising 10 countries in Southeast Asia. Its member states include Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Cambodia. It is established in 1967, where ASEAN aims to promote political and economic cooperation and regional stability among its member nations. The organization focuses on fostering mutual understanding, economic integration, and cultural exchange to enhance the overall well-being of the region. Next is the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. It is a global financial institution with the main objective of fostering worldwide monetary cooperation, ensuring stability in exchange rates, promoting balanced trade, growth, and maintaining financial stability. The IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, assists member nations by offering policy guidance, financial aid, and technical support to tackle economic difficulties and crises. It plays a vital role in overseeing the international monetary system, providing resources to countries dealing with balance of payments challenges. The organization is dedicated to facilitating global economic cooperation and fostering stability and prosperity in the international economy. So we have the last part here is the World Bank. So World Bank is established in 1944. The World Bank is a global financial institution with the primary objective of supplying financial and technical aid to developing nations for various development initiatives, emphasizing sectors like infrastructure, education, healthcare, and environmental sustainability. The World Bank strives to alleviate poverty and foster economic progress through the provision of loans, grants, and expert guidance to its member nations. So comprising two key entities, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, or the IBRD, extending loans to middle income and credit worthy low income nations, and the International Development Association, or the IDA. It is offering concessional loans and grants to the most economically disadvantaged countries. So the World Bank is dedicated to the enhancing living standards and fostering sustainable economic growth in developing regions. So that's all. Thank you so much.